You got engaged in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very bougie. Very, very
Just
cool.
a little
Very cool.
bullshit. I love
But
LA. It's so pretty.
the thing about you got to do something I always wanted to do, and
Okay.
I am beyond jealous of it because I'm from Cleveland.
Okay.
I always
Oh,
wanted to see
I know what you're gonna
LeBron
say.
play Kobe.
Yes.
That was
Oh
like
my
a thing
God.
I always wanted to do, and I know
Yeah.
you're a huge Lakers fan.
Yeah. Huge Kobe fan.
Where were you when you found out he died?
I was standing outside of my apartment in Plaza Midwood.
Isn't that insane? You could ask anybody that question now.
Yeah.
It's up there with like 9/11, not in obviously the mass casualty, but in like you know where you were when when you heard
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant died.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was a joke. It's like, there's no way.
I know.
This is too terrible to be true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember where I was when Michael Jackson died too.
Really?
I don't know why. I didn't grow up listening to his music.
Are you a
but I
big
love
Jacko
his,
fan?
I like his music,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like raised on it. But I was working at Dairy Queen when I was 16 years old,
Okay.
in case you were wondering. But, yeah, I remember
Oh,
hearing
how far
about it.
you've come.
I know, good old Blizzard maker. But yeah, I remember I was just walking down the stairs, taking Moxie out, and saw the article, and then saw later, a couple hours later, that his daughter passed with him, and it was terrible. It still gives me chills. Like I get nauseous thinking about just the impact of that one crash to so many families.
It was just I was at Haberdish. I was having brunch on a Sunday, and it's mimosa number 2, and I'm like, there's no way this is
No
real.
way.
Like, it's got to be wrong. Like it's got to be like they're gonna retract
what I
it later.
thought.
Like it's gonna be like they thought he was up there. Like you're just too important of a human to just die, and it's just so tragic. And like.
Yeah.
You think of how many people ride helicopters all over the place, and like, and add the daughter aspect to it. It's just absolutely unreal.
Yeah.
But
It's so crazy.
yeah, but Dustin's a LeBron fan.
Huge
So
LeBron fan.
You guys got to watch them play, and
Yes.
the Lakers ended up winning that game. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they won that game.
They did.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
squeezed it out.
Yep, didn't hate that part.
Are you still a Lakers fan today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it's even more cool because LeBron's there too.
Yeah.
So it's a
So
drawing now.
Yeah, I was about to say now you guys have this merge. Like it's no longer a house divided type scenario.
Yeah.
Where for you? Where does sports fit into things? Because when you're really into fitness, like as a career fitness person, I find most career fitness people they don't necessarily engage into sports as much typically because the weekends, especially Sundays and things like that. If you own a gym or you're a trainer, that's like R&R time. Like you might like throw the game on or whatever like that. You might be a fan, but how big were sports for you? Because again, you didn't grow up watching high jumpers. Like
Right.
was that like wasn't your thing, and that's not something you can do now. Like how big? Like are you into sports? Is that like okay?
I'm into, I will say, like basketball the most. Like NBA, I loved watching the NBA growing up with my dad. I was always watching the Lakers, and the Kobe Shaq era was my favorite era. And I think that's when I kind of fell in love with basketball, is watching their camaraderie, and just like it was kind of an entertainment at the same time as also incredible sports. But yeah, I could tell you probably all kinds of random 2000s, early 90s basketball players, and like what their names were, and show me a picture of them. I was like, that's Steve Nash, that's Jason Williams. Like I loved NBA. I still love the NBA, but I don't watch it as much now. I will say I'm like crashing at the end of the day, so I don't watch it as much. But yeah, I've always just watched sports. I guess my dad, he was always my bitty basketball coach, and he coached me through like I think 6 years of basketball before you go to middle school. And yeah, I think I've just always been around sports, and it's always been on TV when I was growing up. And being in the sports world in college, you have a whole different appreciation for athletes. Instead of just watching them, you can kind of flip the script and know what they go through, and how life has to be different than them. And I remember vividly in college when I was watching a football game, and there was all these people around me. I mean, like wasted frat dudes, like the worst. And I remember
Pop collars, the whole deal.
Yes, the pastel colors. And I listened to them just like dogging these athletes, and it's just you have no idea what kind of pressure that person is under, what it takes to show up, what it takes to train. When you're partying every single day and you wake up hungover, they're already done with their lift and they're already at their first class, and it's a whole different mindset. So I appreciate sports now from being an athlete, loving sports my whole life, but now I know there's so much of a different lifestyle that's required that I could just admire athletes too.
You find